All right, so we're into part 2 of sedimentary rocks and how they form, how they move, how they are deposited, called deposition, and then obviously how they form. So this is basically, we have weathered the rock either mechanically or chemically. We've produced fragments or pieces of broken bits of rock from a source rock that was intact, right? Whether it's an igneous rock, metamorphic, or sedimentary, you've broken that down through weathering on the surface of the earth, all right, over the course of a long period of time, okay? And then they produced what we call clasts, okay, or sediments. Now, erosion is the transportation of these sediments. Now, in terms of sand, you can think of, obviously wind and sandstorms, but the most classic one in how to move sediment in large amounts is water. So that comes with rivers, oceans, lakes, seas, ponds, streams, okay, and also frozen, which is part of the cryosphere, ice, which is glaciers, okay? Glaciers are frozen rivers that go downhill because of gravity. So gravity also is a big part of this because water moves down with gravity. So let's take a stream. Okay, so let's take a landscape. So we got this mountain range, and then it comes down to here, right? So it rains, right? It rains from the cloud. Whee, there's a cloud. Okay, it rains. So over the course of, let's say, thousands of years, the water starts to break down the rock. You also have the temperature and the slope and gradient, so it gets weathered. And then what you have is you have the flow of water going down in a river, right? So inside the river is going to carry, okay, sediment. It's called the river's load. So it can move inside the water as it flows downhill towards the ocean. It's going to carry all these sediments of different sizes. And the longer the sediment is in the water, this is called maturity, the more it's going to become smoother and smaller. So it will break down into smaller and smaller pieces as time goes on when it's in the water. Now, what happens is sometimes the water cannot hold, the river loses its energy, right? So energy in how much it can carry in terms of sediment in the water. So obviously, the faster the water, the more energy. When it gets to be more flat ground or less steep gradient, the water, the river starts to lose its energy and it can start to drop all of what it's carrying. So it's going to drop all that sediment. And when you drop it, okay, drop the sediment, we call this deposition. So it's moved with erosion, okay, and then it's going to be dumped or deposited in a new location, generally through water, and then it will be dumped on a new location and starts to settle on the riverbed, the river floor, the surface of the earth, the ocean floor if it gets to the ocean or gets to a lake. It starts to settle and accumulate or increase in numbers, all these sediments on the bottom of the landscape, the surface. All right, so this is erosion and deposition.